There's something to be said about how art sucks you into it. Whether it's through illusion or introspection, it allows your mind to fill in the blanks and the missing parts. And those gaps are essentially where it lives. So the art can never really exist if it isn't observed. So it's kind of like you're the other ingredient. Manipulating the context of someone's reality will allow them to reimagine a universe with new parameters, where time may begin to slow down. Or space may seem to expand. And quite frankly, this can all be said about magic as well. Drawings made by robots.
A robot's gonna draw my portrait.
20 minutes.
How cool is it so far?
It looks like weird nothingness so far. They're working really hard too.
Yeah, they're so devoted to what they're doing.
And they're just regular pens on there.
It's creepy because the camera looks at me, looks back at the paper, looks back at me. It's like it's literally observing me. Like if you have a look at the cameras when they turn to watch me.
Yeah, this guy over here is doing close-up straight on. This guy's doing you in a chair, and then this guy's getting you sort of more profile-y.
Oh wow.
20 minutes later.
That is amazing. I love this one. You can still tell it's me. That's so cool. Oh my god, dude, these are sick. What's the artist's name? Patrick Tressett?
These are messages that you would never say to anybody. People wrote them down, and we're gonna read some. Wes, pick one out.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one. It's a dirty message right here.
A dirty message.
I wish we could have still been friends, but we were both just not made for each other. Someone
Ooh, hard to
got their
hear.
heartbroken. I try to never say goodbye because I'm so afraid of saying the wrong thing. I wish, though, that I knew you were hurting. I would never have ended a conversation early or said I was too busy. The world was so different with you in it.
Oof.
Sometimes I wake up and have forgotten, and remembering it gives me the same sick feeling of finding out over and over again.
Ooh.
Whatever you write, they are going to throw away the next day, so make space for new last words. I wonder where our last words end up.
Me as your doctor. Let me show you this one. This is my favorite bag. It's like from an old 16mm camera I'm using all the time, but I just use it for my gigs, and everything is in there that I want. It's just like crazy stuff here. Here's this one. This is my favorite. It's just a little mirror illusion. I love to carry things around that are just absurd. Everything in here is just ideas, and I know I always take all my gimmicks with me everywhere I go, just to play with them anytime I have an idea. So there's like, oh my god, it's actually, if somebody looks in there, it's like, what is this crazy stuff? Like, what is this? You know, like, let me show you one more thing. This is a funny one here. Magic. You know, you shouldn't smoke this. You know why? I didn't expect that. What is inside? Look at this. This is crazy. When you open this up, man, this is like, holy shit. You see that? This is like this is why it's so addictive, right? Anyway. Anyway, these are just small things I always carry with me for the right moment. It's the best. And I love to search in my things, you know. Sometimes I love just scrambled egg. All these little bits I can use at one point, you know, and I have it just ready. But I would also always tell you should be a bit more organized when you do your things. But all these little gimmicks, I just have them on me, and I just continue like developing things. So if they're just far away, I don't have them in my view. They're also gone in my mind. If I have them, I'll say, oh, I forgot about this one, and I start playing and I have a new idea. I need this stuff always really close to me. If I'm creating a new gimmick, it's always in my pocket. It doesn't matter where I go. Even if I don't perform it, when I take it out, I just have it in my hand. I just get used to it. I need to feel this material, and it has to talk to me. Because most of the things I cannot think of. I just have to discover them on the way of playing with materials. And it's such just a mysterious thing. You go like, you know, just having a little attraction that makes people curious what you're doing there is sometimes so more important. It's just always this little 5%, you know, that makes everything better. You can have a whole movie, and it's just this little 5% makes it a good movie or a bad movie. It's the same with a magic trick. And actually, this is what Ed Copperfield told me once on a tour, that this 5% makes the whole difference. So let's see if I can actually rub it a little bit. Oh, yes. Look. Just press it down here. Yeah, oh my god, my fingers are disgusting. But look, if you just come here, it just becomes back to shape.
It's ridiculous.
Man, sometimes all my gimmicks, they're just clustering in my bag together, you know, and then I have this magnet that is actually on a ring, and then I was like, why? And then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. No, how is it? And then I just found this, and I can be like, that's so interesting that this is just falling in my hand with the magnet, right? So boom, suddenly new ideas. Because if you don't just start playing with things, you know, nothing will happen. You have to start it. I think there's this phrase, I don't know if this exists in Germany, the same, that all the start is difficult, you know. I don't think so. I think the start is always the easiest, but to bring your project till an end, this is what really makes it not a problem, just a big thing you can be proud of, that this is done as it is, right? I always suggest you have a lot of weird materials around you, just giving you all the time new ideas just from looking at them, and having a little mirror to train everything you do. Sometimes you need a camera to really see if this is correct, because in the mirror you can cheat yourself, you know, you just look away in the right moment where it's not, but the camera filming you doing it really shows you sometimes the right motions in your hand. Is there enough power? Does this feel weird, you know? And yeah, you have to also get a lot of good friends that you can really trust. And if you don't show it to your friends and they give you their perspectives, you know, if they're just criticizing you, this is the best thing that can happen to you. You don't want people who are like, wow, that's so cool, Toby. It's like, it doesn't bring me anything. I know already that my trick is kind of cool, but I feel like I want to get it better. So if somebody's like, nope, flashed, I'm like, oh, cool, this guy is like, he's talking to me. So anyway, this is just a little bit of my creation stuff here. Let me see if I have one more funny stuff to show you.
How many hours do you practice in front of the mirror every day? Every time I'm on my phone, you're in front of the mirror.
Yeah, I feel like this is, I really need to see. I mean, there's so much to discover every time, and I have just so much fun. I'm never alone, you know. I'm always this person like, hey, you're back there. Then I leave the mirror, and then I'm just coming back. It's like, you're still there. And then I'm just, for me, this is like where I can still be that child that goes back to his room going with his Masters of the Universe, going crazy with things. So this is where I kept a little bit of my play childhood things. Maybe I just say it like this, because if you have time for yourself, working on your own material, this is the most precious thing you can have. You know, like for me, this makes me so happy. If I leave my studio and I just came up with a small thing, just, you know, I tried one of the things, 80 of them failed, some of them were interesting, but I have one little gadget or whatever, just like, wow, this is so, I'm coming home, I'm like, I am so, inside it makes me so happy to create something that wasn't thought of before in this way. And you know, I cannot wait to show it to my friends when I go to a convention, you know, and then from there on, I actually realized that I'm just at the start, and everybody's like, oh, cool, could you also do it like this? And, I didn't thought of that. And then I just go back to my studio, and this suddenly get clustered to a routine, and at the end to, maybe a new product. Let's see. But the way to go there is all about play. And I love to play, and this is why I'm all the time in front of the mirror. Oh, maybe there's one more. Where is it? I just had it before in my hands, and now it's gone, or what? Here. Oh, that's cool. Look, so here. I love this one. I think everybody saw that one. I'm all right. So everything is good. But, you know, I found like old things also. Like, you remember the summer? We were all together in that park, and everything was just like, you were all together, and just and then you wake up and you're like, oh shit, this was last summer. You know, these little things where you can also just add a little bit of story, and then it's just becoming, you know, a moment. And I love moments, and makes the whole world suddenly coming up. You know, you just give 3 words, and then in the spectator's imagination, this is where the magic happens, right? You have to give them just a weird emotion, and then they're like, what is up with him? You know, like, then he said this, and then suddenly, you know, just with the ice cream, for example, it's just something happens to me there. I just get a backflash, and people can, you know, they see what happens to me for that second. If you add a little bit of your acting, if you have some skills that are just in you, that you can always put in your magic tricks. I don't know if you're good at juggling, if you're good in ventriloquist, or whatever, you can use all these specialties that you already have in your magic. So always cluster everything together, and it becomes just more artistic.